Hello, happy Monday, it's a new week. Where am I gonna put you? Yeah, perfect. I am currently in a service station. It is 9 o'clock and I'm actually a little bit early because I'm picking up my pals and we're driving up to Soho Farmhouse, and so I'm like meeting them en route because they're coming from like a different part of London. I purposely forced myself to be early so that I wasn't like stressed driving through the London traffic. I was like, just allow so much time, because usually I'd allow myself like the least amount of time and then be stressed. So this is a new chapter. It's a good start to the week. It's also pissing it down. It is a proper wet and windy October Monday morning, but going to Soho Farmhouse, just picked myself up a very cold birch muesli from the service station. And yeah, I probably got only about 5 minutes and then I'm gonna go pick them up. Spend all of Sunday basically working, all the stuff you don't see, the glamorous stuff, working on social climber stuff, doing content, emails, like all of that sort of thing. Obviously I'm taking a lot of today off, so my days are all just a bit blurred and merged. Like I don't really have weekdays. I just like look at my life holistically and try and work in the gaps that I can. But yeah, I'm so excited for Farmhouse today and to see my girls. We're just gonna chill, sauna, steam, pool, read our books, eat good food, chat about everything, life. Just listen to a really good podcast on the way here. I always listen to Shameless on a Monday. It's my routine. They did such a good deep dive into trigger warnings.
So there was a reputable study done on the effectiveness of trigger warnings a couple of years ago. It was written about in the Association for Psychological Science. I'm going to read you a bit of that study. Advocates for the use of trigger warnings suggest they can help people avoid or emotionally prepare for encountering content related to a past trauma. But trigger warnings may not fulfill either of these functions. Instead, warnings appear to heighten the anticipatory anxiety a person may feel prior to viewing sensitive material, while making them feel no less likely to consume that content.
And how hyper-personalization in every part of our lives has made us feel like every single piece of content should be made for us. And the removed accountability that's happened as a result of it. It's something I talk about all the time. Like with your social media consumption, you are accountable for what you consume. I truly, truly believe that. And they were talking about how actually there's a lot of science to show that trigger warnings lead to more stress and actually don't reduce stress and anxiety for people who are triggered. It's something we used to discuss at Diary of a CEO all the time, because we used to talk about all sorts of topics and we said, should we trigger warn them or should we not? And it's a slippery slope because, and there's a line that I actually stopped and wrote down that Michelle said, which was, keeping trigger warnings is just making ourselves feel better. Facts. It's not for the people who get triggered, it's for ourselves to make us feel like good humans. And the good human thing to do is make really good content that is sensitive, is empathetic, is I just think it's an excuse. I think trigger warnings, sometimes, obviously there are different situations, but a lot of the time a trigger or a content warning is there because you're lazy and you haven't bothered to make your actual content empathetic and sympathetic and valuable, but also two things, and then the accountability of the listener. You have the power to walk away. You have the power to unfollow. I'm very pumped up about this because it really pisses me off. And it was just really, really good episode. One of the best episodes I've listened to of theirs for ages. So many thoughts. Gonna definitely be sharing it on my Instagram later today. Also just posted a story about Bridget, who is the founder of The Bar, which is a US clothing brand, who's been on this breast cancer journey for the last year. She is the epitome of who you think would never get cancer. She's just like glamorous, successful businesswoman. Obviously cancer doesn't discriminate, and I just think the way she's shown up and shown her journey as a young female who has breast cancer in my family, who knows the risk and the chances are very high for me, but for also for all young women, the way she's shown up so vulnerably and raw and honest, and I just think it's so important to see it for what it is, but also like her tenacity and strength, and the fact that she's created content around that time in a very different way to what I've seen other sort of people going through a journey like that. I just think it's the most refreshing thing I've seen on my feed this year. Yeah, let's go to the farmhouse. We've got loads happening this week. Lots of big ass meetings, like long hefty meetings, which some of them I can take you along for, some of them I'm gonna have to debrief with you on after. But yeah, let's go do another week. It's time to go. It's time to go.
Hi.
Welcome to a Monday.
Welcome to
with the girls.
Monday with the girlies. We're gonna have a spa day, chill on a Boardroom jack.
I'm bringing my own snacks into the farmhouse. Good morning and welcome to Tuesday, what should have been a really easy morning. Like super easy morning, super easy, loads of time for everything. Obviously turned into critical delays on every tube line and the most chaotic journey in, and it's so typical because I never commute anymore, like ever. So that was been really fun. It's taken probably an hour and a half to do a half an hour journey, but it's fine because I am still hopefully on time just for my meetings, but not the time I had hoped to allow for getting content live, responding to things, like just that buffer time. I need to do some emails. But yeah, I'm just marching to the Hoxton. I've got to jump on to do community service with Jordan, which I've just been prepping for in like the sardine packed tube. I need to have something to eat because I'm then doing a big strategy session for my personal brand with Mark, who I do my employee ambassador course with, workshop with. He's actually going to help me and do a session with me on my personal brand strategy. And I think if the weather is kind to us, which it hasn't been, we're going to do it on a walk and we're going to get mic'd up. I'm going to get mic'd up and I'm really excited to dive into me and get some strategic direction. Anyway, I'm at the Hoxton now. I'm going to do some emails, have some really quick breakfast, speak with Jordan, do this strategy session and check in at some points with you along the way. Okay, let's go Tuesday. So manic, shouldn't be like this. We're starting to see all of those conversations happening, but when like mainstream press start to prioritize it within their content, it's like it's like a shake up. It's like they're waking up. And I think, as you said, like as we kind of say often, it's like something we've known to be true for a long time. Like we both have worked in this space, so we understand the impact of YouTube, the audience, the growth, the views, the intensity of the audience. Like all of these things is just impossible to achieve through traditional TV in the same way. I honestly feel like I've lived a lifetime since we last spoke today. I can't advocate enough for going on a really long, aimless, circular walk to do a strategy session. I have never felt more motivated. I mean, it's also to do with the person I went with, obviously, but my God, my mind has just been like on fire ever since. So many things make sense. You just talk through things. I'm going to make walking meetings a thing. I think we did like 15,000 steps. We were going for a while. So I've just done Pilates for the first time in a week and my arms are hurting just to hold you up. But did the really good strategy session, then sat and we had a coffee and we kept going. And what Mark then does is we walk with microphones on and he takes it, uses his blueprints that he's created, his frameworks, but also AI. He's like super AI forward, like in a very inspiring way to, is that going to stay? I feel like no chance. To then turn it into like a playbook for me, like a mini one, because we're just doing like a mini version. Basically centering it all around if I'm releasing this book, which we'll catch up on, in a year to a year and a half, because that's how long it takes to come to fruition, then I need to work everything to that being my North Star, essentially. So it makes sense when it comes out in a year and a half. And it's a weird thing to plan for. And I think I've been really getting myself worked up over it because it's a lot to like think, as someone who's never thought more than like a month ahead, to now be thinking a year and a half ahead is really pretty crazy. So that was incredibly helpful. When I get the playbook back, I will talk you through a little bit more about the questions, the direction, and how we're just like making my brand make sense across all of my channels, across my speaking, across my products that I'm launching, where a consumer product could live. And that's why I've come to talk to you. So this 3 p.m. idea. So I've been like burning to create some level of consumer product. Also, not the actual product creation. That's not my forte. That's not my expertise. Not like logistics, formulas, manufacturing. Like I don't know anything about that. in terms of brand storytelling, content marketing, content creators, like content creation, campaigns, like it's my bread and butter, and I love consumer brands. It's what I get really excited about. So I've been thinking for a long time about the consumer brand that I want to create, but more so get behind, probably in like a co-founder mentality. And you'll know a while ago I mentioned this 3 p.m. concept. I'll insert the clip from the podcast.
If I could do anything, and I will record this back in 30 years' time when I've done it and been super successful, I have a real thing for... So in our office, like I've worked in an office for the last 5 years every single day. It hits 3 p.m. and every single girl gets a can of Coke, a can of Diet Coke. Do you know how much shit is in a Diet Coke?
Oh, terrible.
Like I mean, I fucking love a Diet Coke, but like...
Or whatever it is.
It's just like, have you seen all those videos? It's like literal sugar. Yeah. But we are a place who like encourages health, and we encourage like, we're drinking electrolytes, and then we're drinking Diet Coke at 3 p.m. And there's this like whole culture around... And I'm not going to try and take on Coca-Cola Company, like, let's be honest. But I wish, like, I really would love there to be, like, an alternative which feels just as cool, which tastes delicious, which is just as addictive, has the caffeine hit, but isn't full of so much crap. When I started thinking about it, I was like, it'll be called 3 p.m. Like, that would be... But then I was like...
That's actually very cool.
I had a lot of people get in touch about this through varying means, like, oh my God, I would want you to do that, or I would do that with you, or, oh my God... We've basically done that trial drink. And then at the run club I did last week, I had this founder come up to me of ACV, which is apple cider vinegar, come up to me and say, we've created the exact product that you were talking about, but we think you could come and be our co-founder. And they've only just created it. I don't think it's even gone to launch yet. He said, this is the epitome of what you wanted to create that prevents the crash. It's called, on the thing, it says, a bold blend of apple cider vinegar and fibre that keeps you in check. No spikes or crashes, just metabolic magic. Carbs, meet your match. And my whole thing with 3 p.m. was to prevent crashes. So firstly, they obviously came up and had this conversation and said we should have a conversation. They followed up with this like personalised pitch deck for me to come on and like do it with them. I haven't even tried the thing yet. So what's better than to try this? Try it on here in real time. Oh, it smells gingery. I don't even know what flavour this is. Ginger and lemon. Gosh, this poor gimbal. Okay. Okay, I love ginger. That's actually really good. It does taste really healthy. Okay, so that's something I would be obsessed with, but I don't know if other people would. You really do get the taste of apple cider vinegar at the end. I mean, I love that burning sensation of ginger. That is really good. And I don't think it's got any caffeine in it. Ingredients: sparkling water, apple cider vinegar, prebiotic fibre, organic ginger and lemon juices, natural flavours and sweetener. So it hasn't even got shit in it. Okay, this is interesting. I'm going to have the meeting. Obviously, I've got to meet the founders, get to know the founders and just start conversations. But step 1, tastes good. This could be interesting. But... I was telling Mark on our walk today about this idea amongst all my other ideas, and he did say, 1, focus, and 2, we ended basically with him saying, if you have not hired a PA by the time we next speak, you've like failed at your task. I can't tell you how many people on this journey over the last 12 weeks have told me to hire a PA. Like I don't know why. We were really trying to dive in, why I've been putting it off, why I've been not doing it. I've got really far down a line with like multiple different people, different roles, different kinds of PAs, in person, virtual, people I know, people I don't know. And every time I've just had this blocker, and I think it's basically me being like, I think I can do it. Actually, don't worry, like I don't need to invest, like let's keep the cash in the business. Let's just keep going at the stage I'm going at. I can do it. I can just do more hours, like I can keep doing it. And he was like, 1, you're continuously burning yourself out, like you're in the cycle of burnout. 2, you have put a ceiling on top of yourself. That means you can't do any of the ideas you actually want to do, which is invest, nurture, and grow this YouTube channel. Obviously do the book, do community service, do my course with him, be a creator on LinkedIn, create content, do brand partnerships, do speaking, and then create this consumer product. And I know I've said, you like, there's probably 10 clips on this YouTube where I'm explaining this to you, but I don't know what it is. I think it's a control thing. I think it's a denial thing. And then the other thing is like, I've purposely kept sort of December quite quiet to prioritise family and Christmas and like just enjoy myself a bit. And I'm in South Africa for 2 weeks in November. So actually I am-ish quieter over the next few weeks. So I was like, oh, I don't need to bring someone on now. It's getting a bit quieter. I can manage it. Quieter. Famous last words. And when I said it out loud, I was like, Grace, that is the perfect time to bring someone on, because that's when you can like train them up, get them to know your practices. So when it gets really busy in the new year again, they're ready, they're running on steam, they're cooking. So I'm going to bite the freaking bullet and holding myself accountable. I immediately went and I'm going to go for someone remote and someone I don't know for 2 reasons. One, they're in a different time zone, which means they can work through the night and get things done so that we're like complementing each other. That works really well for my YouTube. And 2, in the nicest way possible, it means I can just like send tasks their way and I don't build that sort of, I guess, they're not my emotional responsibility. It's much more transactional. And that's what I need right now. I listed a job on a site that I was recommended a while back. And I've just been like teetering on the edge of it. And I've had over 100 applications in 2 hours. So I'm going to take the job down, move forward, interview a few candidates and hire someone by the end of the week. So in a month's time, I'll have a VA supporting me and my life will change so I can focus on all these big ideas, because that's where I'm getting stuck. I was waiting for permission and I don't know why, because I've had permission from all sorts of people and I needed to just give myself permission to do that, to make that hire. It's taken me this long to be in a good headspace to make the decision. Keeping it real as always. And then I went and grabbed a salad and worked in the salad project. Had a really cool idea for my book that I've been not really sharing with anyone because I didn't want anyone to tell me it was a bad idea because I really like it. Shared it with Mark. He thought it was a really great idea. We actually expanded it way beyond that, and I've got a meeting with the publishers on Thursday. So we haven't signed any contracts yet, so I don't want to talk about it too much, but I'll take you on that process of building it out, and I think you're all going to love it. And now I've got to do a concept for a brand partnership, which I did last week, and I need some tweaks on, and I need to get back to 2 pretty urgent campaign emails with like next steps. And then I'm going to work on a 1-pager for my book concept to take to them on Thursday. So yeah, it's like 6 p.m, 5 p.m, 20 to 6. So I'm just going to be sat on the sofa doing that until Austin gets home and I will cook some dinner. We're going to do some The Nutritionist flaky cod tacos, which are they sound complicated, but they're actually so quick to do and they're delicious. And then tomorrow I've got a content strategy meeting. I've got a meeting with Cora who runs the Boardroom, and in between that I'm just going to be doing laptop work. I got cut off yesterday because another memory card ran out because I hadn't formatted it. I ended up spending yesterday going through all of the applications for my VA role, there were 200 in the space of 12 hours. I've now shortlisted. I'm going to do a task and do interviews. Very grateful to the people I've reached out to who are supporting me with this process because it's all very new. Hiring someone abroad and going through that process is obviously different, but there are different perks and things of working with someone in an international team. I've loved having my YouTube editor in the US because it means when I'm awake, I can give feedback. They wake up, they edit, I go to sleep, and it's like we're working like through a 24-hour clock. So I found it to be incredibly useful. And I think that distance can sometimes be really helpful in more transactional roles, and I think I mentioned that yesterday. Today, I have got up and I have come to my secondary new office space in the ministry, which is somewhere I've probably mentioned a few times, but they have very, 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 very generously offered me a desk for about 6 to 8 weeks just to try it out. I love it here so much. It's like so cool. I filmed here recently. I just love the aesthetic. They have the best meeting rooms, the best cafe with the food. Like, I don't know if it's like partly subsidized. It's so reasonable and so generous and so nutritious. And like there's co-working space downstairs, but there's also like offices and companies upstairs, and they're just like really cool companies. So yeah, this is like a great secondary location. So I obviously have 2 different desks in different locations right now, and I just feel very, very lucky to be able to pop between the 2. This one is incredibly useful because it's like really handy for me to get to. It has a nice 20-minute walk like to the station, which I love. And it's like a good center point for going into town because I've got meetings later in town at 2 p.m. with someone who might be able to support me with like creating story arcs out of the talks I do. Lots of things going on, awful things. But yeah, I had a lovely walk here, had one of their they do different breakfast items every morning, but they had like a yogurt station with like full of like nuts and seeds and dried fruit, and it was like creme de la creme. And that with a flat white was £5, which like anywhere else would be double that. So yeah, and then I downloaded Superhuman. Has anyone heard of Superhuman? Because I feel like I've been living in a cave. I don't know how to describe it. It's like an AI email system, but it's not like someone who drafts your emails for you. It like gamifies the whole process. And I feel like I'm in a game, a race against time, and it's not in your inbox. It's like a plugin that takes your inbox into it. I'll run you through. My laptop's upstairs. I've just had to come down and film some promotional videos for my talk in South Africa, just uploading them to send to the client now. Do you remember a few weeks ago I recorded a talk for the ManyChat Creator Summit, which is like with the craziest creator lineup ever? You pre-record it, but then you join live to like chat in the Q&A comments, and we'd put it in as 10:30 this morning. Turns out it's 10:30 in the US, which means it's 6:30 here. So I need to log on and do that this evening. But it's actually just given me more time back this morning, which has been fab. I did so much admin this morning. I just feel like I'm like actually getting through shit rather than like let it all overwhelm and it all consume me, which is an option. And do you know what that is? It's because I've allowed myself more time in my calendar this week, not to be super back to back. So take that learning and lesson from me, but I'm like starting to make pace with things. And I think it's because I've got my big book meeting tomorrow. I'm going to prep for after this next meeting that I've got, where we're sitting down to run through like contracts. But I think having the meeting yesterday with Mark to like establish my identity, the direction, the North Star has just given me such a sense of purpose and direction that I feel like I can see the wood from the trees. So don't underestimate working with someone, whether it's a mentor, a paid consultant, a strategist for like a week, just to like help you give that clarity, because having someone who's a specialist who understands your world, who can just like dive in, parachute, figure shit out, and then like give you the answers, is exactly what I needed. But yeah, how lovely is this meeting room? I think you can hire them out, whether you are a member here or not. I just love their aesthetic so much, and there's so much natural light, lots of things coming together, but it feels like at the same time lots of things are breaking to have to come together. So if you feel like that as well, just know that's not only you. The highs and lows, baby. The highs and lows of a gas entrepreneurship. I know I was talking to you about the 3 p.m. club drink idea. 3 p.m. drink, it would also be a 3 p.m. club. And I have so many ideas for it, but let me get this VA hired first. VA hired, then everything else can start to fall in place. And I'm also looking for a YouTube strategist to be that fly-in 2-week, help me figure things out, build some processes, get me set up so I can run better with it, because I feel like I've hit a point where I want to like level up now, because I love YouTube so much. I'm seeing the rewards, I'm seeing the results, and now I need to invest to like level things up. So that's where we're at with that.
We've had so much access to essentially data, because we could try something with one client, try it with another client.
Like I would never come to you and be like, I want to hit 1 million followers this month. Like it will never be, that will never come out of my mouth. Like I would say like I want to make sure I'm learning like 10 DMs, 10 inquiries, 5 impact messages, like all of that, because I believe that growth comes secondary to that, and that is like a ripple effect. Like if you nail that, everything just like ripples from it. When I've looked at working with like agencies or like people, it's like they measure everything in like follower growth.
Yeah.
And I also just think that metric is becoming more and more redundant. And I also have all these beliefs that like social media is fucking fantastic for so many things. It's not the be all and end all. Like the be all and end all is creating that human connection in real life.
What does success look like to you?
I think being like a really well-known authority in my space, someone that people just know they can put on or call on, or like say Forbes are writing an article and they're like, we need a real authority voice on this article. Go to Grace. So I would love to be like that go-to person for people, really respected authority, not someone who's just like selling constantly. Like that really doesn't interest me. Again, I really believe like money comes, growth comes as a second result of like everything you do. It's actually Saturday. It's Saturday morning at 8:52. And I am on my way, weirdly, to my old office, which is funny because obviously I used to go there Monday to Friday. And now I'm on my way as a creator on a Saturday, so that's a bit of a weird turn of events. I started filming this week, and then I realised that basically every meeting I was having I couldn't take you into, because there's lots of conversations happening. At the moment, there were 3 big meetings that happened last week that I couldn't take you to. So I basically realised that I was missing the largest chunk of the week and I couldn't really discuss it. I'm off to Alice, who is the founder of Mile Off's Run Club this morning, where she is debuting her new collection, I believe. I'm so inspired by everything Alice is doing. She's someone I spoke to before I quit my job, during when I was quitting my job, after since I've quit my job, and she also had a sort of a long career at Dyson and then went to become an entrepreneur and is like a front-facing founder who's building in public. So super inspired by her. She's also the nicest human on earth. So excited to go to her event this morning, which is a run club, and I have not run in a hot minute. So I'm hoping it's a gentle pace, but it is an absolutely stunning morning, thank God, because it's been pissing it down with rain all week. So I feel like everything's just coming together really nicely for this one. There's a lot of things happening this weekend, so this is very much a working day. I'm with Flick, my stylist, later for styling for a podcast on Monday, and for South Africa, which is not next week, the week after. We've got to get a million things done with the house. It's all happening. We're going 100 miles an hour, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to my old office and go to the run club. Oh, that's so cute.
I really like it. Yeah, it's so good.
I'm gonna get emotional because this is so surreal. Like, I just thank every single one of you for coming in. And then you might have seen this one, which is top secret. We haven't, released anything about this, so you girls are the only ones to know this is Black Rum Vest, which is coming Black Friday. Welcome to the Mile of Autumn Winter Launch Event.
I'm just waiting for Grace. She's in buns from home. We just got smoothies from Elevate, which are the closest we have to Air One smoothies in London. And the run club was so good. Like, I am so proud of, so proud of Alice for building such an incredible community. I can't believe she was still at Dyson this time last year. I didn't realise that. Mile Off's only been going for 9 months, and this was like one of the best run clubs I've ever been to. Like, the thought of the event, but also the type of people, the amount of people, the way she was like displaying the new collection. It was very community focused and centric. Like, the weather was amazing. It's like got cold and rainy now, so just like the sun came out for it. Just everything was just like perfect. I'm just so proud and so inspired. And like, what a way to start the weekend. So yeah, just got a smoothie, catching up with Grace, my old colleague, and now I've got to go and meet Flick for an afternoon of styling, and I will obviously take you with me for that as well. So we're being in the city on a weekend. It's like touristy and like not worky. Weird vibes. Yeah, so proud of you, Alice, if you're watching this. So inspired, setting the precedent for what community events should look and feel like. I was just catching them up on the run club.
Oh, it was so fun. I loved it. And it was so nice how many people came out.
I just can't believe it. Like,
The fact she started it in, was it March? She started the
This
run
year.
and there's already that many people coming out for it. It's wild.
so proud,
cool.
so cool.
Honestly.
Alright, quick shower and change, and now I am off to meet Flick for some styling. We're gonna head over to the King's Road to find some bits together, which we've never done before, so that should be fun, and catch up because we haven't caught up in ages. So I think we'll grab a coffee. Yeah, I didn't put any makeup on because obviously I'm going to be trying on loads of clothes, so barefaced in Chelsea feels bold, but we'll give it a go. Also, my brother just ran his first marathon and he ran it in sub 4. There was no tracking. There was no tracking on for the Lisbon Marathon. It wasn't working, so we had no idea how he was going. But I am so proud of him, and we officially have a marathon runner in the family. It does not make me want to do a marathon, but it does make me want to set a goal to do another half next year. So we'll add that to the busy schedule, I guess. Good morning, happy Monday. I realise I left you on a cliffhanger there, and you were meant to come to our styling session with us, but the reality was we ended up running around like headless chickens towards the end, just because we ran out of time and we were too busy yapping. But it was such an amazing experience to go shopping with Flick. Like, just feeling like a VIP when you're going shopping is like a pretty elite feeling. And just to have stuff like picked out for you, it honestly just made the shopping experience 10 million times better. So if you're ever feeling a loss in that sort of space, I couldn't recommend like working with a stylist who also is able to like live locally to you and like go to the shop, see stuff, feel stuff, try stuff on together. Just like so much more efficient than if I'd gone by myself. I'm just making some porridge, having a cup of tea, wash my hair, because I know I said I wasn't going to do any more podcasts this year. And I'm aware this hasn't aged well, because what am I doing today? A podcast, but it's an exception. And you'll understand. I'll keep you hanging till we get there, because I think it will make sense when we get there. There's sort of about 3 or 4 urgenty things on my list to get done this morning. It's currently 8:30 and I need to get them done in the next hour, so I give myself an hour to get ready, because then I'm going to drive over. It's all the way in North London, but it's like on an industrial estate in the middle of nowhere, which means I would have to get like 3 trains and a taxi. And I'm trying to find a way to do podcasts and to do speaking events that doesn't write my whole day off, because as much as I absolutely adore doing them, I give a lot of mental and emotional capacity. Why are you boiling so much? To them, which means I tend to drain myself out for the rest of the day, and it's so unsustainable. So I'm trying to find little ways around what I'm doing to make it more calm and sustainable and a bit more seamless. And I think one of those things could be, rather than taking like 4 modes of transport, sweating on the tube, going in the rain and the wind to get there, I know it sounds dramatic and I'm very privileged to have the choice, but just being able to like get in a car at A and get out at B, for me is a really little thing that can make the whole thing just like less taxing. And I'm just trying to find little ways to make everything less taxing so I can do more. Hence things like working with a VA. Having my car back, thank God, to be able to drive makes such a difference. Like just little things I find really taxing and draining. And it's not like I really enjoy a long train journey where I can get loads of work done. Love that. If it's really bitty and I'm jumping on different things and it's a bit chaotic, I actually just find it adds to a lot of my stress. So obviously it's like a privileged decision to be able to make something like that. But at the same time, it's sort of an investment. It's an investment decision that allows me to do more, do better, which enables more in the long term. If that makes sense. Yeah, I'm excited to go and do that. This weekend was really gorge. We did a lot on the house. So after styling, we've just been working on the house non-stop. We went over yesterday. We were there for like 2 hours measuring up, doing electrical plans, trying to figure out where sockets go and things like that, which is just like a lot. I actually put on my story that I'm going to be working or need to work with someone to help me with the interiors, because I just have such decision fatigue, and the idea of just making quick rash decisions about the place you're going to live in really stresses me out. So, and I've got enough going on, you know? So I just said, like, I'm putting my hands up, I need some support, and had some amazing people reach out who I'm going to have calls with today and tomorrow. Some of them just starting out, some of them just doing it as a passion project, some of them who are professional interiors. So just going to get a sense from the different like scope of people, and then make a decision by Wednesday so I can start working with someone, especially as we're going to be in South Africa for the next 2 weeks. Why do I do this to myself? It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. We went for a gorgeous roast at the Waterman Arms, which is in Barnes, which I'd never been to before, but was highly recommended. And oh my God, I think they were the best roast potatoes I've ever had in London. And I don't say that lightly. I always think, like, my mum does such an exceptional roast that it's hard for anything to compare. But I love the atmosphere of going out to like a Sunday roast on a rainy day in London. It's like my favourite thing in autumn. So the atmosphere, like 10 out of 10. But honestly, these roast potatoes were exceptional. Like, for a restaurant. No, not even for a restaurant. They were just exceptional. But I will take you along to the podcast. Well, I'm going to do some work now. I need to write a LinkedIn post. I need to get 3 kind of urgent emails out. Get ready, go to the podcast, and we'll probably catch up in the car. I've just been doing my hair. Obviously, needs to chill out. But I've been watching and listening to Caleb Roston, who is someone I've had my eye on for a while in the content world. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to listen to like get my mind in the right place for the podcast, one of his podcasts. And I swear to God, it's the best conversation I've had on personal branding and branding in such a long time. And then I went to message Caleb to be like, I fear we are like long lost soul siblings. And he'd already messaged me twice and I hadn't seen it, which is so classic. He was the guy behind Gary Vee and the Hormozis for a while. And this, I'm only this far through it. Like 27
Hard
minutes.
ass kind of content.
And I'm going to put a link to listen to this because it is so good. It's the best conversation, thoughts, insights on brand and personal branding that actually is legit and not just like salesy AI slop. and I'm gonna have to chat with this guy because we are so aligned. I'm so pumped up. Right, I've got to do makeup, and I've got to go in about 25 minutes. So I don't really have time to be doing this, but I had to tell you because this is so good. I need to get back to listening. Okay, BRB. And we are ready to go. I've got the full outfit, but I do kind of have to leave. But it is a vibe. Ignoring all the towels, nothing is working. But the Ganni jumper is super cute and hair's working. So let's go get in the car. Got some bits to top up when we get there. Gotta get going. Hello. I've just arrived after a really good drive, and I'm so glad I made that decision. I just need to put some lip gloss on, and I'm a few minutes early, which is stunning, and I just feels very, very calm and not stressed. I'm still listening. I kept listening to that podcast, and I actually can't emphasize how good it is. Like, if you listen to anything that I ever recommend, it's just so refreshing to hear someone talk the same language as you do about content, who has also worked behind some of the biggest and most successful brands in the world, and hearing someone else talk about it is giving me so much clarity. Like, sometimes you just need to hear from someone else who you align with, and like, this is that episode. So really, really glad I found that. Right, gotta go find Jordan and go record this podcast. So funny, this is like 2 minutes from where I used to live. I'm gonna go check in and get going so I'm not late, and I will check in with you after this pod, and I will share a little bit more about what the podcast is, because Jordan doesn't currently have a podcast right now. So yeah, say no more. I'm gonna say no more. And people often ask about the prep I do for podcasts. I think the less prep you can do for podcasts, the better. The less staged it feels, the better. But I do think, generally speaking and talking and recording myself, I am always prepping for podcasts. So I'm always like writing content, articulating my thoughts, understanding what I do believe, what I don't believe, making things sound better. Like, writing LinkedIn content does that. Recording stuff for the vlog does that. So I'm always in some ways preparing for podcasts, but I don't, I guess, specifically prepare. I listen to content, I get in the mood, I get in the mode, but I'm not, like, making notes. Like, I don't really know where the conversation will go, but Jordan and I chat every single week for community service, so I know it's going to be a good conversation. Had a perfect head. Energy levels are good. Okay, let's go. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that works.
Lighting is lovely in here.
Hi vlog, how you doing? We're here. We've just finished an episode. It was very fun. It was, my favourite podcast episode I've recorded. It's the first I've recorded, but it was my favourite. And yeah, thank you for coming, Grace.
It's okay. Hi.
Hello. Hi vlog.
Hi vlog. It was very fun. We've got to do, what's this section called?
The business of Grace Andrews. Breaking down the business of Grace.
We're breaking down the business of Grace. We're gonna figure out the business of Grace.
Thank you very much, sir.
Wave goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye vlog. Bye bye bye. Bye, thank you.
Thank you so much. It was
That
amazing.
was such a pleasure. Well, that was so much fun. Proper good yap about creator life, content, audience, all of my favourite things to talk about. Jordan and I just get on and know each other so well, so I feel like it makes for such a better conversation because the chemistry is just there. Right, now I've got to remember how I got into this place to then get out of it. And then we did the bit at the end, which you saw, which was mapping out like my revenue streams and how I'm making money as a creator right now, which was very interesting because it's not something I've done for a while. So yeah, amazing. Right, let me go jump in the car. I've got to drive back down to London, South London, to jump on loads of calls this afternoon. So maybe we'll debrief a bit more in the car about the things we spoke about. That was so fun. Also, Sun is main charactering right now. Okay, we are about to drive home. It says 53 minutes, but even so, I would choose driving than jumping on a train right now, just to be able to decompress, listen to Shameless, my guilty pleasure podcast, which I just indulge in, and it feels like decompress, which is obviously what I'm really trying to work on. I'm actually going to pause it so I don't miss any. But yeah, I think all these little things will help me perform better in podcast scenarios, in situations like this, just to keep me calm, arriving, feeling calm, not feeling like stressed and having to warm up into it, just being able to dive straight in. Yeah, it feels really good. So yeah, obviously in the short term, driving's great, but it's all in terms of preparing for this podcast, it's just having my outfit ready before, having a sense of calm, being prepared, knowing everything that's going on in the industry. So you've got all of these things and stats to pull on during a podcast recording. It's all of these things that make for good content or good showing up, because it's all dependent on human performance. It's all dependent on our own behaviour, and we have to give ourselves a little bit more grace in how we show up and giving ourselves the best conditions to show up. It's like a sports player on a sports team going onto the field and not playing a great game. You like analyze why they didn't. It's the same if you're in like the thought leadership space or the personal brand space. Why did I not show up and do the best performance? Was it my sleep? What did I eat? Was I prepared? Did I have the support system in place? Did I turn up in a calm, good mindset? Have I prepared long term in the gym, i.e. consuming content, training my brain, creating the muscle, being able to speak? It's all of these things, and I think we've got to think more about us as humans at the center of these brands and looking after us as humans, and I need to do a better job of that. Also, the other thing is I really want to invest more into my YouTube starting from this week. So keywords, titles, thumbnails, all of that. I'm probably signing with a content agency. We're in conversations today. So there's lots of things happening in this world that I'm laddering up to in the background that I think is really important to mention, whilst trying to grow sustainably at a pace and a rate that is good for me and good for my insides and my soul, which is also really important. Something Caleb said on the podcast that I was listening to earlier, which I really recommended, was understanding, which I talk about a lot as well, is like, for what and what is your version of success? And he said, I don't want the level of lifestyle or success that the people he's worked behind have. So the Hormozis and Gary Vee, he's like, that is not my version of success. My version of success is like being able to live the life I want to lead, like having enough money, but also doing things I want to do and like not being in the spotlight all the time. And I couldn't relate to it more, honestly. I'm not striving to be the next Stephen Bartlett. If you take anything from this vlog, like that is not me. I am striving for my version of success, which is like a more sustainable life where I get to travel the world and do talks and not burn myself out and enjoy every day and feel fulfilled every day. And that comes at the cost of not burning myself out and not working every single hour of every single day. I've done that for the last 5 years. I'm looking to grow sustainably, grow with intention, and bring the right people on the journey with me. Okay, let's drive home. I've got loads of random calls this afternoon, some to do with the house, some like consultancy, some just like chats, all sorts of things. So I'll run you through that, but I am starving, so I need to somehow grab some food on the way home that's not nutritious. Let's go. The way I go from so presentable to including my trackies, so comfortable, that's the right word, it's quite funny. I forgot I had to park the car at the new house and then make my way back here. So yeah, that was a bit of a tight turnaround to get on for that call. Just had a good call. It was about brand partnership. I'm just going to go outside and grab a matcha because I've got a lot of work to get through this evening, and it's just going to be a laptop evening, I think. Also, the Charlotte Tilbury mascara is amazing, and I always wear it for podcasts or anything on camera because it looks really good on camera. The fallout, as in the blackness it causes under my eyes, is why it's not my day-to-day mascara. I'll say that much. Yeah, I just had a good call about a brand partnership, and I've got a million emails to get back to, including my book proposal, which I will talk to you more about, and I need to go get Matcha to support me doing that. I think I will probably leave it here for the rest of the day, just because I'm literally going to be sat at my laptop. So I think I'll probably just leave it here for the vlog, and speak to you tomorrow. I'm going to go do some co-working tomorrow with my friend. Got loads of calls, and I want to talk to you more about like some more substantial topics tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Good morning. My hair is crazy. We need to fix that. I thought I would just give you a little tip for the girlies watching, because I know there's a lot of girlies watching. If you are not a girly, this could also apply to you. Sometimes in the morning, I look at my wardrobe, as I'm sure we all do, and I think I've got nothing to wear, which is ridiculous because I have a lot of clothes. I am overflowing with clothes, in fact. So I thought I'd just tell you what I'd do in that instance. I look at my wardrobe, I'm like, I've worn everything, I'm bored of everything, I have nothing new to wear. This is just like an office day. Like I've got to do some filming, but like nothing that I would get styled for. Wait, let me just put you down there one sec when I do my hair. So what I'll do is I'll pull out something from my wardrobe that I do want to wear, and where I'm like really lacking in inspiration for like how to style it, I will just type into Pinterest. So for example, this morning I realised I have this red jumper at the back of my wardrobe that I haven't worn in ages, and I really wanted to wear it. It's the perfect sort of sweater season temperatures to be wearing it. Let me just grab my phone and I'll show you. So I literally went into Pinterest and typed in red sweater outfit and looked for stuff that I already had in my wardrobe. So I was like, okay, I scrolled, and And then I think I saw this girl, and I was like, I've got blue jeans, I've got a white t-shirt, I've got black shoes. And then it sort of kept coming up again, that sort of same outfit style that I just needed to see it. I think it was this one, yeah. I just needed to see it to be like, okay, yeah, I've got all of that in my wardrobe, I can recreate that. And it takes the sort of thought out of it, and it makes you put stuff together in your wardrobe that you might not ordinarily have done. So that's where we've landed this morning. But yeah, we've got white tee coming through, red chunky jumper, blue jeans, like all staples. And then I've got my black loafers, or I've got some like black Mary Jane vibes. So let's try both of them on. Oh, I'm feeling the loafer. Yeah, loafers it is. And I think it just makes you feel a bit more put together than, you know, just, okay, I need to sort my hair. I can't keep this conversation going with this hair. But I think in many ways, obviously men have it quite lucky where they can have a uniform and can keep it quite simple. And then for women, you do want to look put together, and you do want to look stylish. Yeah, like we do want to feel put together, but sometimes it feels like a lot, and the decision fatigue is real. I love exploring and wearing clothes. I love clothes. I think they're very expressive. I think I love feeling put together. I love trying new things, but it means we have this extra decision in the morning. And I think we've all been there. Well, yeah, we've looked at our wardrobe and we've been like, I've got nothing to wear. So I find that like a really good little hack, because I think it's less about we always have stuff to wear. It's like maybe we're just bored of how we're styling it, or we just need inspiration to style it because I'm not a stylist. So I find that to be a really good little hack, just to like piece it all together and to realise you do have stuff in your wardrobe. You just haven't thought about like putting those things together. This morning we are going to the office. I think it's about 8 a.m. We are going to go into the ministry office where I've got a desk for the next few weeks, which is just the best thing ever. I've got a load of calls. I've got community service. I've got, loads of calls. I've got to deliver a brand partnership piece of content for a bank, which is very cool, and I will tell you more about. I've got to get back on a few proposals. So yeah, it's a office day today, and I will take you along with me. I'm absolutely adoring working at the ministry. I've also got some thoughts that I want to rattle around with you if that works. So I'll probably do that during today as well. Let's go do a new day together. Yeah, I mean, it's a super interesting move. I think it's removing all of the people between the artist and the fan, and it's really interesting. It's like that direct access, that uninterrupted access. I'm really intrigued to see, or to understand if this is like part of a PR move involved, or it really is just him being like, fuck it, I'm doing whatever I want now. Because I think it's either way it's smart and it's strategic, because one, yes, it's paving it's setting the new precedent for how artists build relationships with their fandom and build that connection with their fans, but that intimacy of what everyone's craving right now, and that connection when it's felt so distant for so long, especially with someone like Bieber, where we didn't really know what was going on for a few years. It's now like, hey, like, come hang with me. And it's a really different relationship that's sort of being created, and it feels quite nostalgic, I guess, to early days when I guess an artist may have been on Twitter themselves, and they may have been like hanging out on Twitter. This is like the 2025 version of that. I think it all comes back down to this idea that we know time is everyone's most valuable asset. So if he's giving away his time to his audience, that feels like the most luxurious commodity that he could put on sale to them. And I think that the casualness with which it's being delivered as well just removes all barriers, increases trust. I just think it's such a smart play for whatever's coming next, which I'm sure will be a massive tour. We know how this works. Hello, I've done a horrible job filming today, which probably, as you've come to learn, means I've been head down working. And that kind of goes for a lot of people. If you don't hear from them, it tends to mean they're in deep work. I'm just sat here, absolutely racking my brain trying to find a good track for my brand partnership reel, which I appreciate is probably not a good use of my time, but I care so much about these tiny details. But yeah, I've had a really good day of loads of mixed things, just a million tasks. It's just one of those days where it's been super busy and it's been hard to take you along with me, so forgive me. I think you'll forgive me, because tomorrow we're going to the mothership. Tomorrow we're going to YouTube. I've got a creator day there, so I'll see what I can take you along for. I'm so well looked after in the ministry. I had a ginger shot, homemade ginger lemon shot, ginger, lemon, apple, celery, cayenne shot, which I couldn't even finish because it was so spicy. And one of their superfood bars brought to me, which was so lovely. I just feel like it's such a good community here, and I really, really enjoy the space. I'll give you a little tour of my floor because everyone's gone home. It's like a little apartment up here. I sleep here. Yeah, it's so cozy. So there are people who have like offices here, also like communal areas and private desks, and there's like a private office in there, and there's like 4 floors I think, and then downstairs is like a proper community hub, and it's just a space where there's like so many founders. I know I've banged on it about it before, but if you are solo by yourself, like finding yourself a workspace just for the community element, I can't tell you enough, like, game changer. I'm gonna pack up because I don't think I'm gonna find this track and it's driving me insane. But I have done the rest of the partnership reel, so okay, let's go home. Let's go home. I haven't charged anything, so everything's gonna die on the way home. Just a girl, just a founder, just an entrepreneur. See you soon. We did not make it to YouTube today. It is currently 6 p.m. And when I say last night, probably from by the time I actually started to leave the office to when I went to bed, / when I woke up this morning, had the most excruciating belly pains. And it's something I've had a few times, and it's a flare-up I probably need to start addressing. But these flare-ups, they're like debilitating, and it's like extreme bloating, pain, everything's going on. I'm not going to go into too much detail. And then I wake up the next day and I honestly feel, the only way I can describe it is like hungover. As if like I've had this full body reaction and like completely deflated and like zero energy, still in a lot of pain. So honestly, I got up at 7 to try and get ready to go to this big YouTube creator day, which I was so looking forward to. And I know there's a lot of like gut stress matrix connection. I also felt extremely stressed that I had so much to do before we went to South Africa. Like, I was in the office till 8 yesterday, got back and carried on working, just like did not stop through the pain. And I have like so much prepared before I go. I've got like a big talk that I'm doing there, which I'm still working on. And I looked at the rest of my calendar between now and when I go, and I also realised that I had no time. So I didn't go for 2 reasons. Like, one, could I have, if I absolutely had to, if it was a paid for event, like mustered up the energy to go? Yes, probably. But I honestly felt so exhausted, so drained. Like, I feel like I look like blood not in my face. And I also thought, Grace, you've got stuff that's driving revenue, i.e. this talk and a brand partnership piece of content that should be your priority over going to this YouTube day. And you're stressed because you're going to a YouTube day, a creator day, which is like fun and entertaining and glamorous and exciting and good for content, which obviously drives revenue in the long term and is good for the vlog. And you're not prioritizing the stuff you need to be prioritizing, which is like the laptop work. So really what you should do is stay here, honour the fact that your body is not feeling great, and do the work that's actually driving the revenue. So I had to have a hard conversation with myself this morning, and I had to obviously email YouTube and let them down. I know I'm like not even a drop in the ocean to them, but I'd still feel bad. I feel bad potentially taking up someone's place. I feel bad if they've done anything personalised. I just hate letting people down. But I genuinely made like a pros and a cons list. And it's funny because, I mean, you guys are basically my close friends at this point, but I put up a story on my Instagram close friend saying that I was basically meant to be in LA this week. I was meant to be in LA with a really, really big brand, and you've probably seen some other creators who were there. They were paying for everything. So flights, hotel, it was like a comped paid for trip. And I would have been paid to create content when I was there. And I said no to this opportunity for 2 reasons. One, it would have almost entirely, if not entirely, been an ego trip. So it would have been a trip for me to go and say, look, I've been taken to LA by a brand. Mainly because there's very, very little value for my audience in me going. And 2, the brand is actually not a brand I use. It's a massive brand. It's a brand I've been affiliated with in the past. But I could not accept the tickets knowing that it's it's not truly authentically a brand that I want to work with in the future long term. So it's interesting because I put this to my Instagram stories and I said, my close friends, and I said, I feel in two minds about it, because one, it would have been amazing for content and my job is content, but two, it didn't feel aligned, and I would have been so stressed going, like so stressed. The week before South Africa, I would have got back from LA and had to fly straight to South Africa. I would have missed family things that are happening this weekend, and I just said no, which is, I guess, crazy in many ways, because the opportunity to go to LA and have it all paid for is incredible, and I'm so grateful for the opportunities that I almost felt ungrateful turning it down. But the reality is there was misalignment. Staying true to me and my mission and my goals will bring bigger, greater, crazier opportunities that are even more aligned. And thirdly, I am the business right now. Like, I am a human being and I am the business, and I have to say no to things. It's completely unsustainable for me to say yes to everything, because I'm a human being with stress levels and emotions and all of these things going on, and I can't do everything. So yeah, I've been like sort of racking my brain a little bit on that one. I actually had initially said yes to the trip, and then I went back and said no probably about a month ago, before anything was booked or paid for. And I was really proud of myself for the decision then, but then as it got closer to it, I thought, but Grace, isn't this your job to go and do these things, to be grateful for them and to go and show content? And then I reminded myself that I'm not a content creator, I'm a creator entrepreneur. I am creating content to serve my business goals. And that trip would have been a distraction, honestly. But it's a weird one, being offered these like crazy, once in a lifetime opportunities. And I had such interesting conversation with other creators and my close friends about it. And so I thought I'd bring it here, because I think you'll also have interesting potential thoughts on it as well. And if you do, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I really, really would. So yeah, today has looked like having a shower and getting changed back into a fresh pair of pajamas, because I have not left the house. And I've just been here and I've made really good progress on things. We got community service live today, which was a really meaty, hefty episode, and we're working with a new editor on the newsletter, so it required quite a lot of back and forth this morning, which I love doing. We've also brought on a social media manager to support, so I was briefing them in. I've had to send NDAs for people and like vetting some designers to work with for some deck creation, and I've been working on my talk for next week as well. So there's been a lot happening. It's been super interesting to have all those conversations this week as like the creator economy booms. I don't think there's still the infrastructure in place to support the creators who are humans, who are at the center of this booming creator economy. Like, it's projected to be a $500 billion industry by 2027 by Goldman Sachs. But like, where is the support for the creators? Like, that's what I think. Like, I think it's getting bigger. There's more money being pumped into it. There's more of these exciting opportunities, collaboration, like endless work hours essentially, because all these work trips essentially, they are ego, but they're work and it's content, and there's not really a switch off between them. Like, where's the wellness infrastructure for creators? And I think anyone building within that space, like the intersection of wellness and creator economy, because both are such booming but also saturated industries, I think are onto something. If anyone else wants to go out and build that or wants me to be a part of it, I'm definitely all ears, because there's crazy data that says like 50% of Gen Z want to go in to be a content creator. So like it's what they consider work. Like, that is the future of the workforce. So things like HR and things of like traditional infrastructure that we've known to be true for a really long time need to think about how they adapt to a world where 50% of a generation aspire to work in content. Maybe that's my thing. Maybe that's what I'm going to go into. So they always say like, create the thing that you need to solve for yourself. I've had so many messages in the last week about the vlog as well. Can I just say I'm so grateful? Yeah, please say hi in the comments. I love chatting with you. Okay, let's go again tomorrow. Hello, good morning, happy Thursday. I am feeling, I would say much better. Definitely not 10 out of 10, but I'm feeling much better. We're about to walk over to my office space, the one I haven't been to this week already, which is the one near me, which I can walk to, which is great, because that is where the Boardroom is hosted. But I also I've got a call I've got to do first in about an hour, so I need to head over there shortly. I need to film first the intro to this week's vlog because it finally happened. I lost a memory card and I've lost the footage. For the start, luckily it's only the very start of the vlog, so yeah, it was bound to happen at some point. What I wanted to do first was open my D. Louise watch with you, because when I say I have obviously spent a lot of time with Liv, the founder of D. Louise, in the last year, and every time I've seen her, she's been wearing a different watch from the collection, which obviously she had samples of for the last year. And I've been like, where is your watch from? And she's like, Grace, it's the new collection, it's coming. Because I don't have like a fancy watch by any means, and I'm not super interested in them, but I love watches that look like jewellery because I think they really like elevate an outfit in the evening. God, this is taped real well. And I just think I love everything these guys do, and the fact that they've now gone into watches just makes me so happy, because I've definitely been in the market for something like this and haven't been able to find exactly what I wanted. So this is the classic gold oval watch. Oh my god, the packaging is literally stunning. This for gifting would be so beautiful. This is their new, obviously, watch case. I've never seen this before. It's absolutely beautiful. Wow. Big reveal. Oh my god, that's so stunning. Oh my god, it sits in this little pocket. Let's pull it out together. Oh my god, it's so weighty. Oh my god, it's literally stunning. I'm sorry. Absolutely obsessed. Let's go, let's have a productive day and talk you through everything that's going through my head. So my meeting ended up getting postponed this morning, which means I've just been sat in Gales, had lovely porridge, I'll insert, pick key, and got a load of like admin tasks done that I needed to get done, including writing my onboarding document for my VA who is starting, who I'm so excited about. And I'm about to head into Boardroom to meet with all our lovely founder ladies. We've got a lady from a fund, an investment fund, coming in to do a bit of a specialist session with us as well. Just going to learn, share problems, share challenges like we always do, and I'll try and film little bits for you. But yeah, going to head in now.
Like tariffs, and just no one knows how to navigate it. And yeah, I don't know, like consumer spending is just really changing, and like it's not been an easy year. So
Co-founding.
Yeah.
Because I think quite like whenever I do build something, like I will probably go out about it with someone, because I've just seen the solo life and the co-founder life, and I think I want the co-founder life. Would you say overall like net value is more than the teething pains?
If I hadn't gone into business with Joe, the brand
wouldn't exist. Yeah.
Like that's just facts. It 100% wouldn't. You need someone to be responsible for, so that it keeps you going when you're like, oh god, there's been so much value she's obviously brought, and vice versa to each other. I genuinely wouldn't, and that's coming from someone who was so the other way. I'm alone, I don't need anybody, I never need any help. Like, independent, yeah, all that. Whereas now, would I go into business with someone every single time? I don't know, but this just feels like 100% right, and I have absolutely no regrets, like whatsoever.
Hello. So I had a really good board meeting today. Just gonna put you there. Just got a Joe and the Juice panini. I'm starving and it's freezing. Had a really good board meeting with some new people. We also had someone who was there specially to talk to us about investment, and obviously only 2% of VC funding in the UK goes to oh my god, it's so good, goes to women. So having that sort of access and education, I think, is so critical in a room full of women. I then, funnily enough, went and weirdly I had a Zoom meeting next, and I went into my office, and the person I was having a Zoom meeting with also works from the same office that I was in and was there. Weirdly, we've never seen each other before, but walked past each other, and so we did our meeting in person, which was so lovely. And that was actually a pitch for investment, which is something I'm sort of starting to think about in terms of like angel investment, specifically into female founded businesses, for a really, really interesting concept that's huge in Australia, huge in the US, and just hasn't made it to the UK for various reasons that she's aware of, but also feels like she can take on and tackle. And it's like a wellness recovery concept. So very interesting. Definitely going to keep some conversations going there. Just grabbed a Joe and the Juice, and I'm heading over to the King's Road where I need to pick up a few bits because we go to South Africa on Monday and tomorrow we go to my boyfriend's parents for the full weekend. So basically I've got the next like 4 hours to get everything ready. And I've very smart, previous me, old me, booked a facial for 4 p.m. today, which just, I'm going to lie there and just sleep and just let the toxins float out of me from the last few days of like having this tummy bug or whatever it is. Boardroom was really good. I think it's really important to like meet with similar-minded, like-minded people who are in different stages of business and just like flesh out ideas together collectively. I think it's probably one of the best ways you can spend your time as a founder, obviously working on the business, but then like brainstorming with other business owners. We talked about co-founders, we talked about solo founders, we talked about hiring, we talked about investment, our current challenges, the market challenges, and obviously we all know that like a problem shared is a problem halved, but with like-minded similar people who live in a similar part of the world to you, who are similar age, doing similar things, I think is even more beneficial. You've got to work on your business as well as working in it. Oh, there's a very fast train coming by. Do they not know I'm vlogging? But yeah, it's been an interesting week. I guess tomorrow we'll go and see the house as we always do Friday Croissant Club. I really am trying to focus and get really intentional on what I'm doing. I'm getting closer and closer to it. I'm having more conversations. I feel more like I've got more direction in so many aspects of what I'm doing, and then at the same time I feel like I'm just making it up as I go along. But yeah, next week's vlog we're going to be in South Africa. Oh hi from South Africa. We need to catch up because the last few weeks I have been running around like a headless chicken with like all sorts of things. I've only been able to film very, very little snippets of everything because there are some things that I can't show you yet, which means this week's vlog is probably just going to be random little bits of everything. I know there's events and things, just like honestly I think it's like 10 days worth of like sporadic little bits of content. I hope there are little gems in there for you. I hope the people who like the more lifestyle, have it on in the background while you're cooking your dinner, enjoyed this episode. It's a funny one because last week we like absolutely nailed storyline, and then I sent to my editor this week, I said we're going to struggle with storyline this week, and that's just the reality. Like the reality is there's been loads of little bits happening, it's been sporadic, I've not been very well. We were at my boyfriend's parents this weekend for his nan's birthday, so I didn't film anything, and then we literally drove down and got on a flight and got to South Africa, and here we are. I'm in Johannesburg. It's the first time I've ever been here, and I'm cutting off here to start the Joburg South Africa vlog now. Obviously sort out a matcha and it's absolutely delicious. This is from the Naked Modern Coffee. So yeah, I know this has been a bit of a different week, and you've probably just seen like very jump start, which is why this is a bit of a jump scare just being in South Africa now. But I think that's also just like the reality of it. Like some weeks are super, I'm super vigilant and like very planned, and some weeks it's just like you're just coming along with me and we're going with the flow. It's funny because I've never ever been so switched on and determined and like driven. There was an episode that went live of, so the talk I did in Leeds a few weeks back, they put it live on YouTube. That was part of our agreement, and it's picked up a little bit, which I know a few of you have come in from, which is amazing. But there's definitely some trolls going on in the comments there, and I can't tell you, I don't know if this is what they're designed to do. Like a lot of people get like bogged down by trolls or take it personally. I am like absolutely fired up when I read comments about this girl doesn't know what she's talking about. It fuels me. I'm like, go prove them wrong. And I'm not doing it for them. I know that people who have an opinion are always going to have an opinion. The bigger you get, the more opinions that come, and they might be based on anything or nothing. I don't know, I just get like absolutely fired up, and I've never been so focused on everything I'm creating and building. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you too much about why I'm in South Africa. I'm going to leave that for a big vlog next week. But just so you know, this week is for work. I'm here for work in South Africa. I'm going to take you along with me. I've got a videographer coming to support. So like, we've got this episode, this crazy episode, sporadic, all a million things happening. We've got the Q&A happening next week. So I'm going to dive into all of your questions that you've been asking. And then the following week, you're going to see what I get up to in South Africa. And I'm exclusively filming everything for the vlog. So yeah, make sure you hit subscribe, You're not going to want to miss this. For anyone who's interested in what I do in terms of how I get booked for speaking, what I speak about, the speaking itself, preparing for it, all of that stuff, you're going to love the South Africa vlog. That's all I'm going to say. I can't believe I'm here. I feel so grateful, and it's a testament once again that I say every time. Every single vlog seems to be the recurring theme. Build your personal brand and good things happen. So I'm going to sign off here. Thanks for being here again. It means the world. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. We're on this crazy building journey together, and this was just real little snippets from the last 10 days or so. We're building, baby. We're building. Okay, see you next time. Bye.